2 finals.
I mean, while Jenkins made a... I would be more concerned about LGD's ability to respond. EGs seem to love their turn. Recently,
10
they've loved
seconds
their
remaining.
profit. I wonder if they have anything else.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, because we saw Evil Geniuses trying to create a trap. We saw them try their Outworld. And I'm guessing that the Game 1 situation out of a 5-game series,
PSG
maybe you can get away with
Geniuses turn
or
back.
maybe you only need to pull it out at the last. Right now, being pretty traditional. Mother, Puck being banned out for LG. Sure, they were watching that pre.
PSG LGD
Lion.
They got Doom.
PSG
For sure, if you don't have first pick, you have to run up.
Axe.
You cannot respond. You have to. A lot of teams...
Evil Geniuses turn to back.
Timber Saw!
Higher value. Puck, the DK, or the Terror.
Yeah, well, Puck has a 100. Good. This is hero that they carried themselves with.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
You know, get it out, but then you have the problem that you're,
PSG LGD's
Lion
turn to ban.
5% winner. Victorious.
Evil Geniuses turn
Massive
to
pain.
ban.
And while these... The Axe coupled with the Phoenix Sunray, Roy's Timber, well, already there's a bit of...
There's
10 seconds remaining.
So just going stats on the other side, LG 100% win rate with Phoenix.
5 seconds remaining. PSG
Bracket.
LGD's turn to ban.
Axe also. Axe carry
Evil Geniuses turn to ban.
played fantastically. You don't really know exactly what's happened, and 5 Phoenix are happening here.
The series
10
that they ended
seconds
up
remaining.
the Axe, they did first face this exact same thing in the
Yeah.
Axe.
5 seconds
Put it on
remaining.
Ame. Their bands were kind of similar. They did take out the Storm. Sure, Bulba has a lot of notes. Saw some of them. And chances are that he's planning for contingency beyond.
I think you run the better alpha call in the game. Axe after they last picked, after Evil Genius last picked race.
Damn,
So-
you have a good memory.
I remember because I
insane.
know because I remember
PSG
PSG games so much
turn
because
to
I
ban.
really am a fan of. Not biased
Of course,
I
not.
literally-
Not
because
biased.
I also like
Unbiased.
Evil Geniuses.
Not biased.
But no. What I think happened there was they were planning on running.
Ten seconds remaining.
Wouldn't want to particularly
PSG
run Axe in the
LGD
carry.
Geniuses turn to pick.
Razor.
But like you said, like if you can flex it, having that availability, while it's one of those things that saw, I do recall that matchup. Axe can get guard if he has a. He
10 seconds
it's not an
remaining.
easy one. Very like staring off the edge.
5 seconds
Teetering on the edge.
remaining.
One of the heroes is
Right.
going.
And talk about cliffs. Do apologize for talking that
Yeah, I
question.
really-
So I would just like
PSG LGD.
Blackwood.
Death Prophet.
Really like the Razor. I know a lot of people would. Oh, okay. Of course. Fast, you can get away from the Razor static link. Guess
10
what? Razor's
seconds
move speed
remaining.
ability buffed like 7 times in a row. So it boots a
5 seconds remaining.
any position. Easily chase after the timber or a chain, and then you shred through his armor
geniuses
with the
turn to
ultimate and
pick.
kill him no matter how farmed. It's kind of a pseudo answer, and now they definitely have the ability as well as the. It's not going to be one of the totally unkillable timber games unless it's off to an incredibly good start.
10 seconds remaining.
Talk about this. Not want to be
5 seconds remaining.
However,
Evil geniuses turn to battle. Lena.
they address that with
Kind of cool. I mean, LGD is kind of taking. I know they played it, but not as much as plays it. And then on the other side, taking this
10 seconds
presumably
remaining.
mid Lena, which nothing to say has looked absolutely
5
incredible on
seconds
this.
remaining.
Void
Abed
isn't-
has not even played it.
I think if Void isn't already. Lena, and I honestly think that Faceless Void looks really good because you've bait people in. I think on talking about how like you want to play Faceless Void when you have some run in and basically cause chaos.
PSG
instead of-
LGD's turn
just
to
that.
ban.
And I think they need a little bit more hard carry in the game and a little bit more like they don't really have any like big need that out of a character.
really love watching
10 seconds remaining.
the last few days.
5 seconds remaining.
Stop it.
Evil geniuses turn to ban.
Very anime for them to simulate these teams after they caught.
You know, it's Aoi and I were actually talking massive level of
10
Where you
seconds
see-
remaining.
they were looking at Nick. They were running some
5 seconds remaining.
weren't going for X Saber, and then they started it, and then Saber, and then they started Saber spec on Nigma again. So it's like see a lot of these. They really respect ideas that other teams come, and instead of trying to like craft what's right or what's wrong, they'll literally just try it and just a fierce competitor. There's a we need to try this so we can get why they're actually.
That speaks
PSG LGD's turn to
Right.
ban.
It's like their ideas are good. We trust that our but we are good enough to all their ideas. That
LAN Dota in one
Evil geniuses turn to pick.
pubs in the exact same region. Come out, and as you suspected, the Faceless Void does get banned, but also a bit off the wall ban. Arc Warden gets taken out as well by LG.
you know what? Going up against EG Grand Finals, like it seems like they always pull this hero out and
PSG LGD.
I speak for the trees.
profit.
back.
Tempo then.
Talking about
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It is an interesting match. Although you're not exact hero that buff to your attack, but nature's speed items, he also in the top 10 heroes that have the highest agi gain. He is the only non-agi does hit really fight on the egg from the map and hit the egg with kind of those extra right clicks that you Yeah, and now that you mentioned, remember, had the nature. They also had ice. Guy was playing just in their face, so deep into the enemy towers that okay, he should. But then RTZ would be willing to tee in and risk his own life, back up ice, and that allowed ice throughout the game to ridiculously no other Timber away with it, only because they were both so confident that they would bail each
Draft basically every box you could ask. They've got push, they've got magic damage, physical, they've got tanky, they've got initiating. LGD are burning through reserves to figure out what carry maybe slot into this. Faith Beyond or Ame on this axe still, who knows, because chances are this Timbersaw wants to follow axe around.
There's a lot of ways the lineup is possibly outscale. I don't think you would outscale it. Spectre's banned, but something along the lines like I think if yeah, Lena and Nate.
Choose your hero.
Okay. Wow.
It is a carry.
Hey, I'm intrigued. I mean, we considered the possibility at the very beginning. Quick prediction. Jenkins, draft you like? Can't think. I need quick predictions.
I'm going to go LGD here. I think it's the axe game, non-Timber.
I go LGD.
Ready? It's only game 1 of a 5 situation. Grand final. I gotta say, both teams coming with comfort, but also exotic stuff. This said Effie, this is imported from South America, as we saw. Also in North America. Carry axe, LGD brought it into the meta. Kind of fell off a little bit, but it's back. We're also back with our casters, Capitalist, and oh no.
That's right, Tsunami. Tremble and despair, fanboys. The man who could end your favorite team's run. Behold, it's Kyle, King of Curses.
Speaking of curses, Cap, we got a pretty strong one already in this game.
Yes, we do. RTZ, the curse. Is it going to be real or is it going to be not? This is an opportunity to be able to finally break that curse, Kyle.
27 Valve Premier events, 14 top 4s, 0 wins.
Oof, that one's gotta hurt. Evil Geniuses, they've been at the last 3 Valve Majors. Dream League, 3-2. Singapore Major, 3-2. And now they're in the finals against LGD and yet to have been able to claim the victory, Kyle.
Definitely the best 2 teams in the tournament, but I think we all know there's a clear favorite. It's PSG LGD.
Oh,
the
God.
Undisputed best team here at the Animajor. I'll go so far as to guarantee they're going to take this dub.
I'd like to take a moment to apologize to the Chinese fans who are watching this broadcast. We can't control Kyle. It just is what it is. So I guess it's going to be the Kyle curse versus the RTZ curse. Which one of these two is going to be stronger? And you know, Kyle, I was actually talking to Jack earlier. Jack, KBBQ, our insider in the Chinese scene. And he described Ame is, in the Chinese scene, he's got a little bit of our tour vibes. And you can get it, right? The last 3 TIs he's been at. 2nd, 4th, 3rd.
I mean, he was removed from LGD and then invited back because they realized that you just can't replace him.
No.
Who has the guts to pick an axe for himself in the first game of a Grand Final BO5? This is another player notable for losing a 5th game of a Grand Final Best of 5 with a last pick Animage for himself, trying to do his best burning impression, but
thanks, guys.
Many
Thanks a lot.
throughout the years have tried and failed to do just that. Either way, like the draft from both sides, pretty balanced. A bit of what you'd expect in the first game. Remember, it's a BO5. It's a long series. We can expect there to be an independent meta that will develop as the games go on. But the carry nature's profit has been deadly from EG.
Oh, sorry.
2-2 split on the bounties. Did you hear our draft panel? They were actually both favoring LGD's lineup. What do you think it was about LGD's draft that motivated them to go for the Chinese team here?
Well, definitely fans of the Ame axe. I think it's just, again, really gutsy pick. I am concerned for PSG LGD's ability to deal with Timbersaw. And Razor against Lina, this is one of the more unfavorable matchups. I expect Abed to do quite well here. However, they do have the Hoodwink. That's key because Break against Timber is obviously a hard counter. EG with the Lion Clock can be very effective as well, just zoning out team fights. We've talked throughout the tournament a lot about how Clock is very adept at hunting Hoodwink through the trees.
Nothing to say. He's already got something to say about that matchup. Kyle, he's gotten the first 2 denies of the wave. So he may already be in Abed's head. Fly, we're going to run down Y here. Of course, battery assault level 1. Not the greatest amount of damage, but he's so far away from the tower. He's got a fairy fire. Fly does have the movement speed advantage here. Just ever so barely, but he's going to have to give up on it.
And he drops the sentry as well. Arteezy should be able to do quite well against a Sand King early on, but it does definitely get harder when there's points in the Caustic, along with a couple extra ones in Sandstorm.
No, they just managed to get to this grand finals off of the back of a Sand King from Ice with that old school carry build.
Oh yeah, set a record as well. The highest net worth at on a Sand King at 35 minutes ever recorded in Dota history, a little more than 21,000. The old highest by 1,500 or so.
Ame playing out a bit of a 1v1. He's got the Silverhort behind him trying to do some pulls, but again, it's a Hoodwink in lane. You probably don't offer the most amount of pressure against a Timbersaw, but later on, of course, you're going to have that big, high amount of damage that comes out from the Sharpshooter and the break mechanic, which may be useful. So we'll just have to wait and see. Mid-lane matchup so far, 5-4, 4-4. Seems like both of these mids are focused a little bit more on harassing and positioning against each other rather than the CS battle.
Yeah, this is a really annoying lane to play for both players. If you can do the Lina stun and get a big drain off, then it gives you a free wave. Same kind of goes for Lina. You're trying to harass down Razor with every Q nuke to ensure you get both CS and harass damage. So a lot of sidestepping, which leads to a lot of missed CS. Top lane, 2-point Sandstorm. Arteezy not really able to do too much anymore. It's likely going to just be a farm-for-farm trade.
Yeah, that's why you could see both the Hoodwink and the Clockwork sitting in the safe lane, but not really being in experience range a whole lot. Instead, are just making it their job to harass the forward position as much as possible. Does manage to get that stack up. Y slides away with the Icarus dive. Waiting for a rotation where the mid lane ends up getting some pressure put on it, just because, I mean, it's Alina on one side, the Razor on the other. I feel like both of those mid heroes are rather susceptible to ganks.
Yep. The one thing to note, though, with the PSG LGD lineup, they've got a pretty distinct advantage in that they can easily clear Ancient stacks early on. Ame rushing the Vanguard. You can already see the Phoenix looking to get those stacks up now. EG, you can clear them with a Prophet, but you can't do stacks. So every one of those Ancients up is basically an extra creep wave just being held in reserve for Ame, and we've seen him go off. This might be a game he wants to get an early blink. We could see him do what he did earlier in the group stage with just Vanguard, Manta. Start farming waves, shoving at all times, and if you have waves shoved, it's a lot harder to play Furion. You just don't have the information then to make moves with your support duo who are going to look to play off map.
Trying to secure the water runes here. Nothing to say is already in position, though. So Shinkyu, his presence is...
We missed that one.
Not needed. Fly gonna hold out the other one, but never mind. Why? Sneaky dives through it, grabs the water rune before Fly. It's none the wiser. Crit. Recod here has to turn around. Hex does have Tranquil Boots, so as long as he doesn't die here, he'll be able to still play the lane pretty easily. It's funny, but it's just these safe lane. Both sides have these cores that are so strong that the supports don't really have much of a game besides just focusing on the opposing support. I mean, it's hard to be able to walk into a Sand King Sandstorm, and it's not like the Nature's Prophet provides any nukes in himself. He's going to be fine in lane, though, just farming up. And same thing with Axe. I mean, what are you supposed to do to pressure this guy?
Yeah. And the edge the EG lineup is going to have is their overwhelming tower pressure. PSG LGD, you look at this lineup, they've got some pretty decent team fight, but they have no tower hitters. A lot of their lineup is predicated on Ame just being enormous. EG, very easy. Timbersaw's going to shove a lane hard, absorb tower if necessary. Prophet at any point can TP in, summon a creep wave. Two supports that love to set up for kills, and that's a, was that a triple or a quad? He's getting the hard camp successfully, but he's missed the Ancients twice.
Big stack. He's got 4 different ones, so that's a triple and a double on the Ancients. And so what I'm hearing from them, from the Evil Geniuses side, is that they're going to be able to chip away at towers. Maybe gank-oriented, like small pickoffs is going to be better. Meanwhile, LGD, they have to like kill Evil Geniuses over and over to claim those objectives. Ice. It's right on post. Jin Q
and
chases them away.
Into the late game, I think EG's cores all certainly outscale. Now, the one here that's not really fully understood, because really only PSG LGD have made the carry axe look great.
Yeah.
I don't know how well it's going to carry into the late game, because the Manta Shard, that's all based on the shard damage.
Razor being gone on by so many heroes, but he's managed to get the first blood anyway. Arteezy trying to finish off Nothing to Say, but they don't have this. Why joining in, but honestly, he's not even really needed there. Abed thought they were going to be able to claim a kill with the help of Arteezy, but Nothing to Say proves to be too strong.
And just mana issues on Abed. He was a little low there. He ended up, it kind of goes back to the Water Rune steal in a way, because if that's saved for Abed, he'll have mana for that Laguna Blade. Instead, was just short. Nothing to Say survives.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Trying to go for the stacks again this time around. Crit's going to be joining him, so they really want to get a punish here. Already given up first blood, the double damage, not quite enough. Now Fly going to be gone on by the Razor, immediately TPing out as forcing a little bit of movement. Pretty good, and his move is actually disguising Evil Geniuses in their play to be able to take some of these stacks. Takes about half of the smaller creeps there, and it looks like one of the big ones from Abed's nuke.
A lot of games in this tournament, I wondered if I was actually secretly watching a StarCraft reboot, because the macro game has been so important. You don't see teams making moves to destroy enemy structures, but rather just handle their mineral collections in the form of these creep stacks. And
big economy game, right?
Exactly.
So like that's what we're focusing on, ruining LGD's economy, trying to get something for your own. Yeah, it is an interesting approach to the game.
And they also waited to do those stacks, at least on the LGD side, until 7 minutes plus. So if you do it right, sometimes you just end up with all your neutral items right off the bat. It's a big edge.
Ame just found the dream camps to be able to quickly find neutral items, the Satyrs and the Knolls.
Cane Ring, one of my favorites. Fairy's Trinket to Abed. He'll be very happy with that. And you can see both teams are like, all right, 7 minutes, everybody. All right, get the free items, and then we'll resume and look to get things done. Love the warding from PSG LGD. If you want to check it out, it's just 3 wards all securing different lanes.
Radiant's middle
defensive.
Tower is under
you just want to read EG's movements, because they're the team that'll make plays for towers. They're the ones who are going to attack objectives, and PSG LGD throughout this tournament have been really good at picking their battles well. They will let specifically this tier 1 safe lane go if they don't feel like they're in a position to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere that this lion goes, right, it's not just a lion. It's probably an Arteezy teleport in with a Nature's Prophet. So they really have to be aware of where these supports are going to be moving around. Ice clearing out all the trees here. Jinkyu, he's going to make sure he's nowhere in range of collecting the experience of this gigantic creep wave. And he's currently under tower. He's currently taking the tier 1 tower, and does look like you're right, Kyle. You're not going to fight for it. Makes sense. Fighting against Timbersaw at this point in the game seems a little bit ambitious.
Deuce, I love Ice on these farming cores. I think a big shift from EG is, even when he's playing the Terrorblade, yeah, obviously a bit more priority is going to be given our Tor, but when he's on the Prophet, Ice gets his time to shine. He's going to get a lot more space, and he's going to get huge. What does Ame have queued up? It's the straight Manta rush.
Straight to the Manta after the Vanguard.
Yep.
As is per usual for the Chinese Axis. It's a big reason why LGD managed to make it look the best coming from the region that created this.
I was thinking maybe he waits for the blink. Like we've seen this before.
Yeah.
They will have issues trying to make plays, but I think he's got the right read where for them to win this game, they need a crazy sick timing at his shard. And that's what they're going to need to then use to get a game-winning advantage, because the EG lineup will outscale past that. Shard and spin damage does not scale.
Sprout doesn't work against the Hoodwink. Scurries right through those trees.
Now scouted out, but EG, will they be able to pressure? In early tier 2, very important because of the denial of the outpost. Start grinding out an XP lead.
Can't outrun a wild.
The thing is, there hasn't been an Ame. He's been just farming already with Vanguard Yasha, 1,000 gold ahead of the game, and he will now be, I'd say, more than capable of planting himself in front of an objective to keep it alive. It's really just Isis Timber, and then the double ult damage from the Lion and the Luna. Lion and the Lena that he has to worry about.
So Evil Geniuses, they've taken one tower, but now Axe can't help but defend. So pushing some of these towers is going to be harder. Give it another 10 minutes, and then the carry Axe is going to be online with both the Manta and the Shard, in which case your map control game starts going to shit because illusions are pushing in the lanes everywhere. And then you give it probably, what, maybe another 5 minutes after that. He's going to have the Blink Dagger. Another 5 minutes after that, he's going to be threatening BKB. Like, this is a hero that starts scaling incredibly quickly if you let him have this longer period of rest that we're currently watching. And PSG LGD moving in through the smoke. Going to be able to pop on a fly. That's going to be the reveal of the Blink Dagger. Both ultimates being thrown here to make sure that Fly dies as quickly as possible, but there is the rebuttal. Evil Geniuses will find Jin-Q, and even trying to catch Faith Beyond, LSA just a little bit shy, though.
I just wanted to get something done. Notably, both carries farming opposite mirrored sides of the map, but Ame's getting just a little bit more gold. He farms Ancients about twice as fast. Same goes for most creep camps. So Arteezy, again, it's more about securing the objective, the early game lead. He will at some point have a Witchblade too, one of the more effective items of dealing with these strength heroes.
So while the triangle isn't as important for Evil Geniuses, their play is to take LGD's side of the map more often. So they're already playing for that jungle. If they can get this mid tower, but interrupted? No, nice jump in. Fly to be able to stop Faith Beyond, but that bushwhack, it stopped the Timbersaw from being able to kill the Sand King. The Sharpshooter puts him down, and Abed, he's one step ahead, nothing to say. Gonna be able to catch him. Ooh,
so close.
Just barely. Gets the kill. 4 down on the side of Evil Geniuses, and PSG LGD might just be the ones to take the mid tower first.
That was such an incredible collapse. We'll see that back, but they already had wards on both ends of that mid tower. They'll lose, no, not even. They don't lose the objective, but they just, out of nowhere, suddenly there's 5 heroes. And Arteezy, the problem with Furion is you need to have that numbers advantage, the pressure advantage. He can't teleport in there. Crit unfortunately got killed just before the finger went out, and they just had nothing doing. The great initiation from Faith Beyond, the early Blink Dagger paying dividends. EG don't have that same sort of initiation. We're gonna see it right now. Yeah, they get the counter initiation. The finger interrupted. Just in time. And
no finger, no whirling death that would have also killed the Sand King. Just beautiful stuff from Jin-Q.
They also keep Faith Beyond alive somehow. So he's sitting in the sandstorm for an extra 3-4 seconds before he eventually tumbles, but it's so much AoE magic damage. There's 3 EG heroes inside of it. There's nothing you can do about it. Timber, theoretically very good hero against the SK, but when you're standing in the middle of a sandstorm, it does not feel nice, and they'll deny the tower, and thus the resources to EG.
As you were saying, PSG LGD, depending on their lineup, what they judge, what they deem to be best, sometimes they're willing to give up certain objectives, and here they're going to concede this mid tower, and in exchange, they're going to have a Manta already for Ame. So at this point, he may actually have the Blink Dagger before he has the Shard, thanks to that one team fight there.
And he's enormous. And it's very spooky to play against him now. He's going to be able to just farm jungle and lanes, also providing more vision just because it's illusions. You know, this is what made EG's Terrorblade and Naga so scary. They're able to obtain gold and information while risking nothing. So Ame, he's farming 2 camps while hitting a tower.
Has fallen.
EG, they'll make moves towards the bottom half of the map. There's no objective there, so looking to just trade. I just wonder, what is EG's timing?
Here comes the epicenter. Thinking about going for the Abed kill here. Faith Beyond canceled it, though.
He's going to need more for sure.
Yeah, and it seems like the rest of his team isn't quite ready. Now he can try and sneak in behind Abed here and have some teammates TP in, but there are a couple of heroes from Evil Geniuses off map right now. There's always the threat of that Nature's Prophet teleport. Of course, one of those heroes off map is Fly. Has an Invis rune right now. By himself. Won't be able to kill Y, but outside of the vision here, goes for it. Oh, but the battery assault doesn't actually catch Y as he Icarus dives away.
That was so sick. The Spidey senses, drops the sentry, sees the Invis clock, but he'll also catch that ward on the outpost and then retreats safely to his own triangle and gets the Ancient stack. Boy's a beast. Jin-Q playing bottom now with the Veil, so the spell damage output of the
nice
SK Phoenix is going to be even higher.
I'm a big fan of this build. I know on the NA side, MSS putting in a lot of work with that Hoodwink, and some of the DPC matches would always go Ether Lens, but I think if you can go for it, Veil feels so good.
Yeah. Especially a game like this. You're playing against Timber, playing against Clock.
Yeah.
You don't see Furion with a BKB until third item, typically. Again, love the PSG LGD wards. Just fully defensive. 4 sentries, 2 wards in their own woods. They know that that's the area of the map EG is likely to try to make their next big move in. But instead, they're going to smoke behind ice. Has the hood. Pretty tanky. But who do you really go for is the question. Nothing to say. Not the target.
It feels like in some ways, Fly, he's broken the smoke. Fly's going to drop a ward. Okay, he's going to be caught here inside of his own cogs, unable to get out. Is there a hook shot available? Oh no, Abed! He moved and Fly misses the hook to save his own life. 7-2 now, as LGD seem to be countering every Evil Genius's move that is aggressive.
It's interesting because EG, they went for more of a mid-game tempo lineup, right? We've seen them play the Furion. Yeah, Arteezy eventually can out-carry. We saw him beat a Luna, but it kind of relies on that early game lead, and PSG LGD, they're just kind of matching them. And EG, because of this investment, I don't think that they necessarily will like hard outscale in this game. It's not like they have a Spectre or a TB that eventually just gives them a win.
Yeah, I think you do not want to underestimate the power of Carry Axe and how much damage it can output. Evil Geniuses, once again, trying to set up. Fly, not having the hook shot from that missed play earlier, does close the gap here on Ave, gets inside of the cogs. No one's really close. Faith Beyond is going to jump onto that immediately. In a way, Fly, did he just willingly sacrifice himself to get something out of LGD? Because nobody was following him on that one. They all gave up a long time ago.
It's quite possible. I mean, he did force a pretty big rotation. Up to our viewers, I guess, to determine if that's value or not. But he did get the Epi, and that was very far into the PSG LGD side of the map. His team, of course, on EG playing opposite corners. Abed, he really needs to finish the BKB, just going to be the recipe away. Arteezy, he's building for that next as well, at least if you practiced the last few games on the Prophet. Ice going for the Sankaya. No, they're going to smoke up again. We'll see what happens. They'd love to find Ame. He has the shard queued up. He'll be able to buy it as soon as we hit 20 minutes. If you're just tuning in, been away from Dota for a while, but saw once again EG was in a final. Shard gives Axe attack spins, more attack speed, and a better proc chance. So you pop Manta, all those illusions spin independently. They have the different ICD, and it's a ton of damage.
Radiant
a whole lot.
You want to explain ICD?
Internal cooldown?
Yes, internal cooldown. Abilities sometimes have internal cooldowns to make sure that you don't actually, you know, have a billion attack speed and permabash somebody, for instance. Nether Shawl for the Axe as well. I feel like he probably would take that one in hand. No, actually. Keeping the ring, he needs the mana regen for its Manta constantly being spammed out. I don't know, Evil Geniuses, I feel like they are trying to make moves and aren't connecting anywhere, but at the same time, they also don't seem too concerned about it.
Yeah. I think both teams kind of have the same read on the game, in a way. Just, okay, we're fine with this bottom. Might be a decade beyond. Yeah.
Big pickup, they can get it. Double ultimates there from Crit and Abed. Finger of Death and Laguna Blade is certainly enough to kill most of the off-laners in the game, and Faith Beyond is no exception.
Yeah, there's been a lot of discussion in the green room. Fog specifically talking about how burst damage just feels incredibly strong. Sustained DPS hard to come by, but you know, you can't really ask for more burst from a combo with the 2 highest damage ultimates in the game just able to go pop.
Running those Manta illusions into the jungle. Call onto the Timbersaw, Bushwhack follow-up. Nothing else behind this, though. They're gonna chill out, not go for the Timbersaw. Again, it seems like PSG LGD perfectly content with the state of the game and only really maneuvering to try and counter Evil Genius's movements. Other than that, farming. They're going to hit a big timing sometime soon. It's nothing to say. He's already got his BKB, and if push forward from Faith Beyond, going to be able to deny the Abed TP. They're going to catch Crit as well. Instant Culling Blade with that movement speed buff. They might be able to catch more. Fly, he's far enough away, but the tower, well, that certainly is within spitting distance for PSG LGD, and I don't think Evil Genius is going to have a response to this.
I was going to say, I was about to comment, this is a bad move from EG, because Razor had his BKB. They didn't see it. They didn't have any vision on his rotations,
Dire's
but
middle tower is
Abed
under
was
attack.
still a couple hundred
Dire's
gold
middle
off of
tower
his.
has
Arteezy,
fallen.
also a recipe away from his. That's not a fight you'll ever win. Nothing to say, it's just going to pop BKB. Face Beyond with a great blink stun. Like, we talked about Lina's issues before. You know, 9 armor, less than 2k HP. Very squishy at this phase of the game. And that gives away the free Roche. Is the shard up? Yeah, it already is.
The shard is up on the axe, and that is why they're able to do Roshan. That kind of pure damage does so much work against Roche, but PSG LGD are going to respect the fact that Evil Geniuses, and I think I've noticed this trend from them, is that they always respect the potential maneuvers that can be made by their opponents. Evil Geniuses, I think, were even going to give that up. Oh, jump forward, barely catches them. Eyesight was half a second away from being able to TP out, but Faith Beyond is fast enough to catch him in the act.
Yep.
Now they can finish Roshan.
We've seen this game many times out of PSG LGD so far this tournament. Incredibly technical. They just lull you into this false sense of security and then pounce. The fight mid, a couple of pickoffs. Now all of a sudden it's like, wait, they have total map control. They're in the Roche, been uncontested. They give this one over to Ame. There it is. And suddenly the carry axe gets real spooky because he has the confidence now to play incredibly aggressive and just pop
Radiant's
Manta
middle
for
tower
pure
is
farming.
under attack.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, very soon, I think we'll have to see if they wait out for a full BKB for Ame and like really solidify having a gigantic power spike, or if they try and use this Aegis a little bit earlier. But either way, in the next coming minutes, you're going to see LGD playing on Evil Geniuses' side of the map heavily if they can. Now, Evil Geniuses still have this big split push opportunity. They're going to be able to jump forward and catch. Yeah, Arteezy, he's dead. Crit, he's going to be good. But Evil Geniuses again and again denied any possible place on this map.
That killer instinct though. Faith Beyond, he canceled his ulti there, but Jinkyu still going for the ulti. Ame would have closed in time if they had done the damage in time. They could have culling bladed. Like, they're always going for the bonus. Like, Arteezy, you just can't do that. Like, they have a ward, but a nice TP from Ame into the trees. You see the damage of this Manta axe. And the EG heroes are just way too squishy. Way too squishy. Yeah, Ice has some survivability, but he's playing against a break and axe is pure damage.
Bushwhack holding in the Timber Saw. They don't have the Sharpshooter. Ice trying to Timber Chain far enough away. Hook shot and a Cogs to be able to keep Nothing to Say back, so they will not be able to chase down this Timber Saw, but they take quite a hefty amount of damage. They're going to be able to continue hitting this bottom tier 1 tower while taking over the triangle of Evil Geniuses. Once again, EG going to look for a movement here. Crit jumping forward with his Blink Dagger, trying to get a Hex or something, but Faith Beyond, he managed to get out of that one, and Crit just suicided into, the long-range Sharpshooter catches Lina, slowing him down. Self-duel, now the call, fall 1 PB and the BKB up, but look at the pure damage raining in from Ame. Supernova over the top, Arteezy gonna be ran down as well. Double kill for Ame. And Evil Geniuses, Kyle, I'm beginning to think that just like every single Game 1 of LGD's run through this upper bracket, that they are going to stomp EG and take a clean victory on the start of a series.
I
Radiant's
can't disagree with you, Cap. I mean, this team, they've looked unstoppable. EG, another very impressive lower bracket run, but this final boss, PSG LGD, like, this has just been par for the course. Like, when they win these Game 1s, you're underselling it. It's not like it's close. They dominate people, and you heard Kuro say, was it RMN in the post-game interview after Enigma was eliminated, that this team broke their strategy.
Yeah.
They studied them. The director in the background, Zhao 8, prepared his boys, and they came out fierce and wasn't even competitive. And so far this Game 1, EG, they just haven't been able to make any moves. They've got their BKBs, but so what? Here comes Ame again. Oh, nice Yols, pre-click.
I'm easily distracted.
Sharpshooter, a little bit off the mark there. Nothing to say with the Invis rune, is going to keep scouting to see if anybody gets close to trying to defend this tier 2, but it seems pretty clear the Evil Geniuses are doing whatever they can to fight away from PSG LGD at this point. Everybody else is on the other side of the map. And that's why Jinkyu, he's going to show himself, knowing that perhaps Bounty Runes and the Triangle is a play here. Turn around, Finger Death being pumped. Grant thinks maybe they have it with Arteezy, but no, Jinkyu, a long-range hook shot does manage to catch him, and he caught Y inside of that one as well. Double kill for Fly, but that's the only good bit of news for Evil Geniuses since Ame is running down Arteezy, trapped by the Sprout. He's not going to be able to catch him. A TP out from Artur. He resets the team fight. Ame looks, but indeed, Arteezy magicianed himself away back to the fountain.
I was very lucky. I saw Isis as he was attacking Ame for a second. Thought that I realized those spins might actually kill his Prophet within those trees. Amazing again.
Cameras up. Nothing to say. Not bothering to chase him. Honestly, it's not really worth it. They just need to focus on map control. Because Evil Geniuses, it looks like their only play right now is split pushing. They're just going to rat this game for, I don't know, how long? Like, when do they get strong again?
Well, it's, I guess when Axe would start to fall off. The thing is, he's acquiring items so quickly. Already 4K ahead of Arteezy. Nearly half the net worth lead that PSG LGD have is on Ame's shoulders. And with that AC upcoming, like, that's a huge item to grab. So once that's up, that'll replace his Aegis. Theoretically, he's like close to maxed out.
Yeah, I do think I've played around with this Axe concept quite a bit since it was first being run in the DPC for China, and it definitely feels like AC is your last really big power spike.
Yeah.
You're still going to be strong. Again, don't underestimate the power of this hero. Still going late game, but good play by Arteezy. Abed, though, being run down the mid lane while that was happening. Xin-Q tried to push Fly out there with the drop of the Acorn Tree. Not quite good enough. Evil Geniuses. Chaos all around this bottom lane as Fly. No hook shot out. No opportunity to be able to get the power hogs. Push back. Crit's going to be run down by Ame as well. It just feels like it's grab bag. PSG LGD. They're just picking up whatever heroes they can get their hands on, and then running to the other side of the map to deal with the Nature's Prophet split push.
Yeah, it's much easier now that both Ame and Faith Beyond have bots. So the global mobility of the Prophet is somewhat neutered here. Also, once again, I just love the way that PSG LGD itemized. They've got the Force Staff Holy Locket on the Phoenix. Force necessary any game you're playing against a clock. Faith Beyond, he has the Aeon Disc, but the early bots to deal with the split push. And then nothing to say. He's actually queuing up an Aghanims. You know, we discussed their lack of tower pressure. The Ags will certainly help. And now they just continue to explore map movements and just run it EG. That's going to be the name of the game. Do they have any wards to place?
Yeah, you said they may be lacking a little bit of tower pressure. The Aghanim Scepter certainly helped with the double hits, being able to hit the towers. All right. Tier 3 items are out. Evil Geniuses, knowing that this 27-minute mark usually means that players are split up and farming neutral items in an attempt to get those fresh Tier 3s, are going to smoke and push and see if they can get a pick off somewhere around here. Now, Faith Beyond would be a nice target.
He looks juicy, Cap, but he's got the unbreakable item.
Yeah, he's got that Aeon Disc, and I think thanks to the ward, seeing that, even though he may have a gem, he may be a juicy target, it's way too hard to be able to catch this guy. The gem's going to be able to spot him. They may go for Faith Beyond, but maybe they didn't see the Aeon Disc. They blow it up, and yeah, it blocks the damage, and now Fly, hook shot out again. Another miss from the captain of Evil Geniuses. The two supports die for that bit of movement. Yeah, there was no creeps in that camp.
Blame on that. He farmed a camp, and Fly didn't realize it in time. And all of a sudden, they're in the base. And Arteezy's just still like, guys, I can't help you here. Split pushing bottom. If he gets caught in the call, he's just pretty much gone for it.
Yeah, and honestly, like, who really needs to be able to do fast tower damage? You could just kill the enemy team anytime they show their faces. Bit by bit, PSG LGD will work down these buildings. They're going to back up. Again, respecting the idea that Evil Geniuses could be able to take a 5-on-5. Even though they have yet to be able to prove it, they're still saying, all right, well, there's no need for us to try and challenge this right now. Let's let the supports come back up. Let's just do the same thing that we've been doing. Let's get to map control again. They're going to get desperate, and eventually we're going to stomp out those rats.
It's just like, look how much Ame farmed, right? He just cleared 3 waves bottom, an extra one with the illusion included, the whole jungle, And his bots, like, he still has 9 seconds on the TP. Like, 30 seconds, he's clearing an entire half of the map and shoving Artur away from the tier 2. And now he can just rejoin his team. So they gained about 1,000 gold and more advantage in just that, like, 1 minute retreat. So, yeah, there's no need to try and threaten high ground. All EG has to get back into this is a big team fight. They have their BKBs, and it is still possible for them to kill off the support duo. You could theoretically find nothing to say.
And high ground is the best position for Evil Geniuses, not just for the normal reasons, but think about those heroes like Razor. He wants to be able to chase people down into a big area. It's very easy to get a good position out for the Lina to be able to throw out damage without being, you know, risking her own life.
And Timbersaw is still a huge threat. Playing against Axe, that stat loss is quite significant. So, no real rush, though, for PSG LGD. We got Roche coming up in 1 minute 15. Expect them to get some map control and look to make a play around that. The Shard Roche is a big one. EG, gotta be cautious. Crit looking to break the smoke, as is Abed. They're gonna move left.
Word on the high ground, Evil Geniuses don't see it, and as a result, RTZ not even bothering to pop the BKB because he knows the physical damage is going to be too much.
It's a tough one for the Nature's Prophet. 0, 3, and 4 on Artur, but looking around his team, it's actually not a bad score under the circumstances. His support duo.
Oh, look at that! That's why I love to see the carry axe.
Thanks, guys.
You think to yourself, it can't be that big of a deal. He calls you, he pops Manta, all of a sudden, they're all three spinning constantly, and your health, it just plummets.
Yeah, the right clicks of the illusions are no joke either. Consider he's got Orb of Destruction, neutral, -4 armor, -5 from the AC. Lina only has 11, and that's just a free Rex. They got kills on 2 cores and 2 side lanes, then take mid-Rex. Just utter domination around the map by PSG LGD. I don't know what to do if you're EG here.
Pretty sure you call GG.
Yes, if Lacoste, he would say that exactly. Enter enter once again. There really just isn't much left to do. Game plan a bit better, come back strong. You get 15 minutes. Game 2, maybe a different game plan, maybe a different hero. Maybe you ban Axe. It does seem quite powerful, uniquely in PSG LGD's hands when you consider Faith Beyond. He'll happily play it as an offlaner, but they can so easily shift it to carry on their last pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they just went all in on this power spike around 20 minutes, but maybe that mid-team fight, if you had a do-over EG, perhaps you just don't take that. Because that really felt like the moment PSG LGD obtained all momentum. One last fight, perhaps. Broke up.
They have to be able to take this fight. They have to be able to go for it. Hook shot on into the pit. The true support's going to start this team fight in the fountain. They're going to have to TP back in. Sharpshooter managed to nail RTZ up and all land to be able to grab it. He does manage to grab the Aegis. He's going to be coming back soon, but it's going to be under the effect of an exploding sun, as sure enough, he is immediately stunned up. RTZ turns around, kills Faith Beyond, perhaps not even that. PSG LGD deny everything from Evil Geniuses. Game 1, they thoroughly worked the North American squad.
I don't know if you call it an outdraft, because in any other team's hands, I don't think the game could possibly look like this. But PSG LGD, they've been utterly dominant so far this tournament. I thought EG would be ready. I thought they'd be the toughest challenge this squad has faced. But right now, they just look like everybody else who's fallen.
Everybody else who faces LGD in that game 1, LGD always looks prepared. And that's probably because they've got some smart minds on that team. They've got Y, the kid who wins